Cheating. We've all done it to some degree. That calorie-heavy meal while on a Beachbody diet, hiding an extra Scrabble tile nearby for emergency situations, or pretending to drop your pencil to get a better look at your buddy's math exam. It happens, you know? Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and click on the links in the description to vote on upcoming content. It's obviously never the right thing to do, but in smaller instances, it's mostly harmless and usually ends up only duping the person doing the cheating in the first place. In the gaming world, single-player games specifically, the same holds true. There is a long, rich history of cheating in single-player games dating back to the legendary Konami Code in 1986. When entering this cheat in many classic Konami games, it's not only useful, but it adds another layer of fun to the game, as, let's face it, there's something extra satisfying in being overpowered and sticking it to a difficult game. Now, instead of getting annihilated in the second stage and wanting to fire the controller across the room, we survive to the fourth stage and, well, you still end up wanting to fire the controller across the room. But we easily added a few extra hours of fun, right? In this scenario, cheating is ethically sound because we, the player, agreed to it. We want the extra lives so that we can squeeze a few extra hours of fun gameplay out of a really hard game. When cheating is ethical, fun, and useful in single-player games, then it's no big deal. Who wouldn't want to test drive the moon gravity cheat in GTA 5? It's basically amazing. When it comes to online gaming, however, cheating is a whole other story. When logging in for a round of our favorite multiplayer game, we assume that the playing field is fair and balanced, or else why would we bother playing on that field? Who wants to just respawn for hours on end while having their asses handed to them? In online games, there is an unwritten agreement between players that cheating is a major no-no. The online space is a competitive one, where the best player is supposed to win, period. But if you cheat in a multiplayer game, the other players are left unaware and thus unable to consent, making the practice unethical at best and a complete dick move at worst. Therefore, cheating hurts other gamers' attempts to have a good time online, while the cheater reaps all the, rewards of being a dick. The Latin phrase of "first, do no harm" is seriously out of balance when cheating in multiplayer games. And yeah, we just dropped some Latin on you, believe it. The result, and why cheating is so bad for gaming, is that players just stop logging in to play, and developers, now losing money, will spend their time combating cheaters and thus paying less attention to upgrading the overall gaming experience through patches and upgrades. So why would cheaters really want to cheat in the long run, knowing that they're only hurting the very games they claim to love?
Yup, just insta-killed another guy.
The answer may seem obvious, but do we really need to unpack why people cheat in multiplayer games in the first place? You'd think that it would sour what would otherwise be the sweet taste of victory, but that doesn't seem to bother a lot of people though. And if these players aren't caught, they probably won't stop. As far as they're concerned, the reward for cheating far outweighs the risk. In fact, it's when the player enjoys cheating and there is little risk involved in being caught, or the penalty of being caught is too low, that the act is most likely to continue. And not only that, but the scope and scale of the cheating is likely to increase as well. In this sense, cheating becomes kind of addictive, or perhaps an outlet for real-world negativity, giving the player an emotional high from scamming the game code and their fellow players. Take this guy's plea. An admitted cheater who acknowledges that cheating is wrong. However, he still cheats because he seeks to release stress from his day job, saying, "Technically, hacking does ruin games, and I feel bad for doing it. But because I know that regular gamers just want to have fun and play the game with their friends, I basically go onto servers and hack because it's like releasing anger from my job. I get bitched at and stressed out because people are upset at me." So how can developers stem the tide against cheaters like this before things get out of control and the actual gameplay suffers? Or worse, people stop playing. How can devs take back their games from players who seemingly don't care that they're cheating and in the wrong without also spending too much time combating them? The answer is kind of simple but harsh. To curb cheating, the consequences must be dire enough to overshadow all perceived reward, likely meaning permanent bans or even lawsuits. Blizzard is handing out permanent bans to cheaters in Overwatch, where even a new copy of the game cannot subvert the initial sanction, and Epic Games are suing players for cheating in Fortnite. Hell, have no fury like a developer scorned. With cheating unfortunately on the rise, it seems like developers got the message and have begun enacting much tougher punishments to fit crimes in order to separate the good apples from the bad. It's no mystery that cheaters in multiplayer games ruin the experience for everyone. When you log into an online arena, you assume that you're on an equal playing field with all the other combatants. And an unethical few decide to spoil the game for everyone. That's bad for business, and no matter how much we prefer to see games as entertainment, they too, like all other forms of entertainment, have a bottom line that needs to be met if they want to be sustained. Thus, developers will need to spend time away from improving their gameplay of their titles in order to address the cheaters directly. unfortunately lending less time spent polishing and patching their product for the trustworthy gamers playing by the rules and just wanting to enjoy their game with their friends. Thanks for watching Mojo Plays. Be sure to subscribe and click on the link in the description below to check out our suggestion page and vote on what content you'd like to see us cover next.